You are part of one of the most legendary stories in golf, the flight with Ernie Els, all that stuff. And you were telling me, like, look, Ernie's told the story from his perspective 50,000 times. The media runs with that. You never get a chance to tell your side. So let's hear it from the horse's mouth.
Is he the one that told? Because my friends, they've been texting me like the article from Golf Is it in Golf Digest or Golf Magazine? It's like a cartoon thing.
I haven't seen it.
We had him on here, and he talked about it a little bit. But now we get to hear it from the other side because they differ.
Yeah, they do differ, but I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I think we'll tell the same story. I'll tell you the whole thing real quick. We met at the Yard House. I never met him. We were with like mutual friends. And so then the groups kind of started hanging out, and I'm talking to him. He's like, what do you do? I said, I play golf. He's like, oh, what tour do you play on? I said, dude, I play on the PGA Tour. I'm like 3 spots ahead of you on the money list, bud. And he's like, oh,
I didn't know that part was true. That's so good.
he loved that. He loved that. So, we had a good time and drank some beers. He invited me on his plane. We figured out we're both playing in Japan and coming back to Jupiter. So he offered me a ride back. And I'm thinking like, hell yeah. But then it was 2 months away. I'm thinking there's no way this guy's going to remember. So I had another plan to go back. But as soon as I saw him, it was on. He was like, oh, I can't wait. Give your passport to my pilot. Like, give me your passport. So anyway, it started off a little rocky because he had to wait for me for like 2 hours because I beat him in the tournament on Sunday. He finished well before me. So he might have been a little ornery, pre-flight. But I finally got on the plane. Everything's great. We're hanging out, drinking beers. I had a nice steak, bottle of wine. Then he didn't want to let me by to go to the bathroom. Gave me a couple of headbutts. I returned the favor. He got a big smile on his face, was just like, yes, I'm so happy. It was like a child. We were like 2 children, like fighting. So we started wrestling and tussling around. I was on his back. He's shaking me around, and the pilots come back and yell at us, and it stops. And then we're both leaning against the bar afterwards, and we can't breathe. We're out of breath. And he says, I like you. You won't let me, you headbutted me back or something. I said, well, I'm not just going to let you headbutt me over and over, bud. And he's like, yeah. So we became good friends ever since. But it was like 2 10-year-olds playing, but a little, but bigger 10-year-olds. That's exactly what it was like. And we've been friends ever since.
Was it just you two back there in the cabin?
It was just us 2.
God,
that's
beautiful.
2 big
15 hours.
boys.
We consumed a lot of alcohol on the plane.
And the pilots had to come back and be like, no, like
the pilots were like,
this
what?
up, it's a
well,
problem.
I mean, I think that he might have done some things like this before, so I don't think they were in total shock. But they came back and they were like, guys, what are you doing? I mean, the plane must have been bouncing around all over the place at like 45,000 feet, like over, Russia. But yeah, that's pretty much the crux of it. It was, like 2 little kids, play fighting almost. But
I love that.
That lines up. That lines up with what he said, pretty much.
I heard if you fly with him, you better be prepared to have some cocktails or some beers.
Yes, cocktails too. I shared a few other flights with him. The Mexico one was pretty memorable. I respect my elders. So, if I'm on a plane, I'm not going to call it hazing, but if I'm on a plane and, guys pouring me a drink and telling me I should drink it, and I'm on his flight and he's older than me and a 4-time major champion, I'm going to drink the drink. You know what I mean? That's the way it is. Yeah. And I got no problem with that. I enjoy doing those kinds of things. So, but the Mexico flight ended with, we flew there from Las Vegas, and it ended with me waiting for everyone to clear customs behind me. They all did. Thought we were done. Tried to walk out and walk face first into a glass door. That was pretty embarrassing. And then Tim West had to drive me to the Fairmont and check me into my hotel and make sure I was tucked into my bed that night. So that was another flight I shared with Ernie.
That's awesome. Tim West. Dude, what a
Tim
great
West,
guy.
what a legend.
I'd heard of this story about him asking you what you did in a bar, and I was like, that's got to be like a made up part. Like, there's no, what are they just sitting at a bar together and they don't know each other? But that part's actually true.
But when we met, no, it's 100% true. He asked me, he's like, what do you do? And I said, I play golf. And he said, oh, really? What tour do you play on? I said, but I play on the PGA Tour with you. I'm like 3 spots ahead of you on the money list. He's like, oh.
God, that's good.
I said, come on, Ernie.
So
Jeez.
good. It's so good.